Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Silfiani. I am from 4C class, Department of English Education, Islamic University of Indonesia, Jakarta. And right now I am going to explain about the article that I have read. And without any further ado, let's start it. And study about stress and stress management. I have read 10 articles, and before that, I want to explain what is stress and stress management. Stress is a reaction of the body to the situation that burdens or difficult. Stress makes the body to produce the hormone adrenaline, which serves to defend themselves. Stress is a part of the life of man. And then management of stress is the ability to use a source of power is effective to overcome disorder or cause mental and emotional that arise because of the response. And the purpose of the management of stress that itself is to improve the quality of life and individuals that in order to be much better. And this is the first article that I have read. A study of causes of stress and stress management among young. The other makes the article is for all people, especially students, scholars, professors, have a career and confidence. Why should they learn about stress management? Because they can control their emotions and perhaps stress as a psychological problem of physical and behavioral. Studies have found the cause of the stress in so, after identifying the cause, the researchers suggest that more much emphasis can be placed on the stage of development of children up to teenagers. And the next, stress management concept and approach. Why should the stress management control their emotions? Perhaps the stress as it usually causes psychological problems of physical and behavioral. Studies have found the cause of the stress in the So, after identifying the cause, the researchers suggest that more much emphasis can be placed on the stage of development of children up to teenagers. And the next article, a study on stress management is impact among children. The study is assessing the impact of stress on students and management of stress in the students. The purpose primarily is to ascertain or identify the extent to which stress affects the success of academic students, skills and style of performance, and to inquire about the effect of stress on quantitative methods were used in collection and analysis data. Next, long-term effectiveness of stress management intervention network. A 9-year follow-up. The targets are employers, workers, and workers, such as that evidence by data monitoring learned. The trend of the stress of work recently has worse, especially in the context of economic globalization, because of major stress psychosocial the place of work is the intensification of work, the security of employment, wage slope, and the age of opportunity. The phenomenon is captured by both the model of the stress of work as established imbalance undertaking price and situation-specific components of the ERI model emphasizing the effect harmful of failure led behind the effort that was spent and the place, work, and remuneration that is restricted by turn, and attempt high reward low, in which the remuneration includes salaries, prospect of promotion, the praise of staff, and stability work. The next, Stress management in work settings. A critical review of the health effects. Intervention management of stress is defined as a technique that are designed to help employees modify their rating stage to situation of stress or handle it more effectively. The symptoms of stress. Study the management of stress that's on the place of work. Assess the results of health and publish in the literature. Peer review are included in the review of this. Method of search measure is that described in the article issue special journal. But search of additional include a review of literature research beforehand and contact an expert. If for studies met the criteria for inclusion in this review. And the next analysis of stress management among professionals in the nature and construction industry. Stress impairs mental, emotional, thinking, and knowing abilities, and this has a negative impact on work productivity as consequence on professionals are inability to complete work on time, to match organizational and planning powers, increase error rates in manipulative and cognitive tasks, and set goals that are not achievable as This study shows that professionals in the construction industry in Nigeria adopt various coping strategies and techniques in dealing with stress, and the main strategies are delegating some work when under pressure, managing time better to achieve balance between home and work life, and problem solving. And the next, management of stress at workplace. Stress is usually a part that was inevitable from the lives of every person who lives in the world. This illustrates the notion of negative that could have an impact on the health, mental, and physical person. This paper aims to help members understand the signs of stress and develop strategies to deal with, as well as build their own personal resilience. This review provides practical tips for dealing with work stress. The paper is implying stress-related work efforts when there is a mismatch between the demands of work and a source of power and the ability of individual workers to meet the demands of the evaluation of stress effective and who reported themselves equally as valid by data objective as statistic of accidents or absences. And the next, psychological resources and strategies to cope with stress. Because coping emerged from the source power and the source of power precedes and effective coping, the model study anticipates that capacity of psychological efficiency of self-optimism, hope, and resilience will serve as a resource of power personally to overcome. The idea basically is that increasingly many sources of power psychological who faces a person. The more substantial, like the who you will choose to cope with change and or acceptance rather than withdraw. This assumption proved correct. And the next, stress theory, stimulus response, and transitional. Study hours and analyze based on various literature reviews. The goal is to understand the basic idea of stress. Knowledge and notion basic of stress is very important because it is the understanding that has more about what is stress in general. There is a model of stress that describes what is stress and how stress manifests itself. And the next article, effect of life and stress culture on mental and physical health in young adults. How stress reduce and forgiveness protect health. We investigate the variables of risk and resilience that have an impact on health and individual. There is 148 individuals have a story of exposure to stress in the rest of life. They are the level of forgiveness, dispositional and health, mental and physical were evaluated. The intensity of stress for the rest of life were substantial, and the level of forgiveness that much lower. Both predict health mentally and physically that much worse by it. The analysis also showed a straight line stress forgiveness direction of suggestion that the association between stress and mental health was less for people who were more forgiving. Findings this is first show that the intensity of the stress of accumulate negative and forgiveness had the effect of reduction on health, and besides that it has a style of looking at forgiving and forgiving. Nonetheless, the conclusion as management is that how we do an action by involving the activities, action plans, or implementation schedules, and how to solve problems. Stress management means with identifying the source of stress that occur in life. Things can be as easy as we sometimes the source of the stress we face is here and now realizing to pay attention to stress as step in as the pattern of feelings and behavior. For example, we agree that work that is engaged by a guideline always gives discomfort, but because we don't care about its effect, become always working. Okay, everyone, I think enough, and thanks for your and last day. Wassalamualaikum.